Boromir wanted the ring. Came to you by accident, Frodo. You don't deserve that ring. It's not really yours. I can use it better than you can use it. We have all sorts of different feelings mount in our heart when this happens. See, lack of unity at this time, at this moment, will start affecting our vision. Boromir's vision was gone. His desire for the ring was more important than the mission of destroying the ring. His desire for other needs were more important than let's lock arms together as we march into enemy's territory. And it's the same thing for the Church of Jesus Christ and for any ministry, for any servant, for any family. When unity begins to break, our vision begins to break, and we lose sight of what we're doing and why we're doing it. And it's a terrible place to be. Because we dream dreams, we talk, and we put goals, and we have hopes, and we have passions, and then things fall apart. See, first of all, Abe and Lot should have been celebrating. They should have been stopping and saying, Lot, you got a great business going, son. Oh, Abraham, I'm so glad for what God's doing over there. You know what, but we got to figure out how to change the business paradigm here, because we're both growing and growing. We can't keep up with it anymore. There's not enough land, there's not enough sheep, there's not enough everything. We got to figure out how to shift it, but let's celebrate what's going on instead of fighting and going after each other. But also this lack of vision, when unity begins to break down, we miss this so often. But look at verse 7 again. There's a little part in the Bible here, parentheses. Normally when we read books, parentheses we skim over. It's unimportant information. It's a sidebar, and if I want to come back to it, I'll come back to it. This is not a sidebar parenthesis. This is a crucial one. It has to do with vision. Look at verse 7 again. At that time, Canaanites, Perizzites were also living in the land. Where are they at on this particular stage of their journey? They are in enemy territory. As their vision is fading, they begin to mount and argue and fight amongst themselves, and they are in enemy territory. Is there a worse place to have your vision and your unity fall apart? The enemy is waiting for you to come close enough to them so they can take you out. When you lose the common goal, why are we doing what we're doing? And you're in enemy territory, it's easy. Pray. You're ours. We have an enemy. The enemy of the Church of Jesus Christ is named Satan. He is real. He is alive. He is in this world, and he is waiting for the Church of Jesus Christ to lose its vision and its mission. He is waiting for us to lose the unity and fall completely apart. He loves it when churches split. He loves it when congregations fight. Instead of making fully devoted followers of Jesus Christ, we turn completely the other direction. And unity is such a fragile, fragile thing. And if you don't think Satan loves this, here's a book. Go Google this, buy this. It's called War in the Pews. It's a real book. These are real stories of churches and splits and lack of vision and unity dissolving. Things like, which side does the piano go on in the church building? Does the piano go on the left side of the pulpit or the right side of the pulpit? Because one is more spiritual than the other, obviously, right? One is going to help us worship better, right? Seriously, churches have split over that. Churches have split over baptism. Churches that have the same common belief that you baptize by immersion, full dunk underwater. But then they begin to debate, is it forward, backwards, or straight up and down? Really? Does it matter at that point? To decide which way you're supposed to baptize? Here's one that really fascinated me. A church had two pastors, a multi-staff church. The church began to grow, and the crowd began to pick and choose which one they liked better. Pastor A, Pastor B. The church decided we're going to have a pastor preach-off one Sunday, because they couldn't get along anymore. Imagine this. Pastor A, Pastor B. Both get to lead songs. You are split down the middle. One side's for Pastor B, one pastor for Pastor A, and you respond and you ignore. You respond, you ignore. They have a preaching sermon contest. Who can preach better? It's getting louder and louder. They're talking over each other. They're dropping illustrations. And the crowd is getting more intense. This is a real story. It got so intense They went after each other in church. A brawl broke out between pastors and congregation. It escalated to 911, and the cops had to come and break up a fight at church. And the church split. And Satan is laughing all the while. You lost the mission. You lost the focus. And instead of talking about Jesus and love and sacrifice and honor, instead of talking about unity, you guys got into a personality conflict, and I just got there and let you go. And you went after each other. We're in enemy territory. As a church that's set on reaching out, on pushing out, on mission, we're in enemy territory every week, every day, every night. Unity is a fragile, fragile thing. These are defining moments. Abram and Lot are at defining moments because trust gets damaged now. Progress and the dream and the mission begin to slow down. And when you go from serving others to self-serving at this time, instead of being on mission and saying, I'm going to love the unloved, it becomes, hey, what about my success? What about my time? Haven't you noticed me today? And unity splits, because then it becomes, wait, I thought the church was for me. Let them figure out their own thing. And unity breaks over these defining moments, and these are very fragile, and these have become very serious and very personal. So what does Abram do at this moment? These moments that we have in our marriages, moments in our businesses, and moments in our churches. Look at what he does, verse 8. Finally, Abram said to Lot, let's not allow this conflict to come between us or our herdsmen. After all, we are close relatives. The whole countryside is open to you. Take your choice of any section of the land you want, and we will separate. If you want the land to the left, then I'll take the land on the right. If you prefer the land on the right, then I'll go to the left. He's saying, look up, man. Let's stop fighting and look how amazing. Look at the blessings. Look how wide open the options are here for a second. We're getting into a family feud, and we're looking inward, and look at everything. There's so many possibilities for us. Let's look for an option here. And it looks like unity is breaking. It looks like Abraham's giving up. It looks like he's saying, oh, come on, get it over with. See, but he actually does a couple things that are really important. If we want to protect unity, if we want to be a church that stays on mission and a family that stays on mission, protect unity by attacking the issue. That is, attack the issue, don't attack the person. And we are good at that, aren't we? We are good at attacking the person that looks better, that acts cooler, that their ministry is rolling and growing and thriving, and we will shoot them, and we will shoot them, and we will go after them. That's not the real issue. Abraham doesn't say, you know what, I'm angry that your business is growing, Lot. Instead, he says, no, the real issue is we can't sustain both of us living side by side doing business anymore. The market can't bear the weight of this anymore. We need to diversify and shift. So let's address the real issue here. Our employees are bickering. Let's shut that off. Let's show them how love and unity and family behaves. See, address the issue. And we live in Minnesota, you guys. We live in a state where we are known for Minnesota nice. We don't want to tell anybody we have issues with one another, let alone in the church. Because the church says, love, forgive, be patient. Those are all great and wonderful things. But then we all walk on eggshells because we never address the issue. We all pretend like we know what's going on, but we never talk about what's going on. And then the mission gets hurt. The unity begins to get hurt. There comes a point where you have to stop and say, here's what's going on. Give it a name. Describe how it's affecting it. Don't get into personality, shooting back and forth. Stay on point with the issue. See, but Abraham also does another amazing thing. He also decides he's going to risk love at this point.